Triple XP.
I'm too overweight to get angry. It'll fuck up my heart or something.
Yep, I absolutely love Aiden. He's a personal hero of mine.
Yeah, no, I put out to our potential listeners or Cheese's mum. If you want to play chess against us, let us know your chess.com username. Welcome aboard. This is Triple XP. Welcome back to all of us. After how long? I can't remember. 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks?
A lot of weeks.
It honestly feels like about
3
a
months.
year.
It does feel like about a year.
In
Going off
fairness,
the amount of spiders that was on my podcast.
in fairness, Mike, for you it probably has been a year because you weren't there for the last maybe 5 or 6 episodes that me and Cheese ran solo.
Yeah,
Our highest numbers we've ever had.
But was that down to us, or was that down to the fact that everybody kept coming to us thinking we were porn?
So I have to say, we were driving home from someplace, not to totally jump in front of Mike answering his question, but we listened to the podcast one time, like a couple of weeks ago. We were coming back from a road trip, and that beginning intro, and we talked about this is not a porn podcast. That was hilarious. That was pretty, like, even my wife was laughing at me, and she never laughs at my jokes. So that was something special. But it has been a long time without you, Mike. We had to resort to explicit hashtags in the community of people searching YouTube for the wrong things. But hey, it made us look like we were popular.
I mean, in that time, you've had another kid and got married.
yeah, shit, it's really been that long.
It really has.
That's been about 5 months.
He's like, I got 2 kids now.
Wait, what? I mean, when you have as many as me, you kind of lose track.
I bet.
To be fair. But yeah, just I guess like loads of things have happened in such a short space of time. That like I've got married, Shane's got married.
Indeed.
Like, I had another kid. Yeah, I've been a busy boy, I guess.
We half of the team, not including Cheese, have met each other on several occasions.
Yeah, the entire
That's happened
team
as well.
has been met up on.
Well, not quite the entire team.
More time.
Cheese's face right now.
I'll just put like one of those grayed out sad pictures of me on this side while you guys are talking about your IRL friendship now.
The entire team, except for maybe the most important person who does all the recording and all the editing.
I mean, I was invited. I'll mention that because it's not like you were leaving me out. It's just been a long summer here.
Yeah, you and Jedi as well, like both invited, but obviously it's a
lot of money.
Yeah,
that's why we got to start planning ahead for 2024 or whatever. And some of us might even try to meet up in like Canada or something next year, which will be pretty cool. But we got to plan something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the note of that, before we come off that topic, I was actually thinking the other day, I was talking to Lauren about this. We should definitely just do a triple XP holiday to like Portugal or Greece or something where it's dirt cheap and just get us all
dirt
then
cheap.
that way we won't make it. Won't, I mean, compared to England right now, anyway, it's dirt cheap. In fairness, we won't feel as bad about dragging people over to the UK to go to Blackpool.
Yeah, to be fair, I did feel a little bit like a catfish when JB and Sarah came over. And I was like, yes, this is the shithole that I live in. Like, let me show you the sights. Here's the freshest dog shit you'll ever see on the street.
Didn't someone literally get murdered at a place they were at like 4 days later?
The night we were there, but we were at Mike's house that night.
Streets away. It was a few streets away. You were fine. It was totally safe.
That's amazing.
I did witness an 8 a.m. drug deal. Just putting that out there. I went out. The house we were staying in, the cars were parked at the rear. So I went out the back and I was on the phone to my partner. And it was like 8 or 9 in the morning. It was quite early. And I was just kind of pacing up and around the cars while I was chatting. And I looked down the road at this alleyway that was like opposite our house. And yeah, there was just a drug deal going on in the alleyway. You know, as it happens at 9 o'clock in the morning.
That was just JB. You needed something to take the edge off, I think, before the Blackpool murders. I
mean, he's the only man that's trained to deal with Blackpool murders. The rest of us are pathetic.
That's true. That's true.
We should go we should go to Japan.
If you're paying,
that's a shout. That is a shout, but it is
a shout,
so
to be fair.
expensive.
and at the moment you can't even go there. It's closed,
Right.
isn't it? Still.
Maybe. I thought they were
only just
reopened, but
no, they reopened it last month, but you're only allowed to go on guided tours, and you have to spend the entire trip with the tour company. Like you're not allowed to just go on holiday there.
that's fine by me.
They're really
That actually
strict
sounds
about it at the
that
moment.
actually sounds better. I don't know what the hell I'd do.
No, you don't want to go guided tours. You get to find all the fun stuff on your own.
I mean,
You stick guided tour in front of anything, and it's immediately more expensive as well.
true.
Yeah,
Definitely
exactly.
true. How bad do you want to go
Plus,
to Japan, man? Come on.
Plus,
Trip of a lifetime.
I've been twice. I can show you the sites.
Okay, fine. Then just you and I can go. I don't care. I just want to go to Japan.
I want to go back.
I'll
there.
pay you to be my tour. Or you can be my tour guide.
I mean, if you're paying me, I will be there.
I mean, I'm not paying for your flight, but we could figure out some sort of compensation.
Shane's just like, this whole episode is just pay me.
Just pay me. I need money.
Anything.
Life's really expensive right now. Petrol's through the roof. Bills have gone up. I can't cope. To be fair, it's not that bad.
Speaking of ridiculous expensive things, especially down south, we got charged for like the Dartford crossing or something like that, like the Dart charge. I had no idea that existed until we got a fine through the post the other day. It was like,
Did you not
You didn't
see
pay.
Did you not see the signs as you drove through it saying "Don't forget to pay the toll"?
No, no, it's nothing at all.
mate, yeah, it's the toll to get over to.
I
the
was so
next area
hungover
over.
that day. I was so hungover that day. I saw nothing.
You're like, I shouldn't be alive right now.
Oh, well,
What is it? £60 fine, I think, isn't it? If you pay it within a certain time.
I think
£30,
if it's
something like that.
I think we kind of get away with it because if it's your first offence.
First offence,
not
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's because I've not paid for it twice. So my second offence, I had to pay it.
Yeah.
It was the
naughty.
Well, no, in fairness, so the first time I just genuinely forgot. I was going like shopping and I forgot. And the second time it was when I picked up our dog as a pup. And I was too excited about puppy. So I just didn't care about anything else. And
So
then,
the laws
a couple
didn't
of months
apply to
later-
you. The laws just didn't apply to you in that moment. You're like, new puppy.
it's
Sorry. Do what I want.
It's not-
There's no rules.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what happened. I just didn't think about it because puppy took over my brain.
That's fair.
But yeah, so I mean, going back to those meets and greets. So yeah, Mike came down south for my stag do, and then we went up north to Blackpool for his wedding, and then Mike came back down south again for my wedding. And for his wedding, obviously, he's dated Sarah and JB came along. Max, Ryan,
Liam.
I'm forgetting.
Aiden.
Liam and Aiden.
Liam and Aiden. I was forgetting names then. My brain was going up my arsehole.
Yeah, there's nobody else.
Minty.
There's nobody else.
No, that was it. I mean, she
Breadstick himself.
Yeah.
she also didn't really have to travel as much. So it was a substantially shorter journey for her. No, it was good though. It was good to meet everybody. It was very sad when we had to leave at the end of that week.
It was,
sad
yeah.
time.
I got. Me and Ellie both got choked up. Definitely, we all had to go. Like it was.
Mike cried. He's going to deny it, but I saw tears
Oh
in his
yeah,
eyes.
no, I cried like a baby. Yeah.
He full on cried in his porchway, like at his door as he waved us off.
And then I went and masturbated. The tears away.
Just used it as a bit of personal lube.
That's probably going to be your soundbite. I'm just letting you know.
What a great soundbite it is.
Oh, that'd be funny too if I can get organized. I could have my Stream Deck set up with like different sound bites that we could just play like overhead. So we could just be like, and then I masturbated the tears away, and I could just play it anytime I wanted to, and just insert it there. It'd be great. Like that's what she said. Like
over the top radio shows that like play, like, art sound.
I've been watching a lot of podcasts.
Amazing. That would be amazing. And also, I'd like to point out that masturbating the tears away applies to many a problem. So it's multifunctional.
Yep.
Multifunctional indeed. So I do have a question for you though, Cheese. Coming
Me?
off the back of where we've been. Yeah, you.
Oh boy.
As because I'm sure Mike would agree with me on this. Being a married man feels like absolutely no different whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. It's exactly the same as it was a month ago or a week ago for me, 2 weeks ago. Now that you're at like what, the 6-7 month mark, does it change at all in any capacity, or does it just continue to just be exactly the same?
Nah, man, we're almost at 2 years.
I thought it was last year yours.
Last year was our reception, but we got married the October before.
That's what confused me.
Yeah, COVID screwed up everything. No, so we decided to still get married because we wanted to get married exactly on Halloween day of 2020. Not for any specific reason, but in hindsight, like that was the day of a full moon, the fall solstice or something. Like all these things happened on that one day. It was it was on a Saturday, but there was a Friday the 13th or something that October 2. So we just went along with it. So now we're almost 2 years in October. It'll be 2 years. So I guess, I don't know, 21 months so far. Nothing's different. It's fine. It
stays the same.
It stays the same. I think it gets a little easier. It's just kind of like when you start dating someone, how there's like that honeymoon phase and then like everything's spicy and great. And then like real world kicks in. You're not just seeing each other on weekends. You're seeing each other after a long day at work, and you're seeing them on your bad days and stuff. And then that happens now that you're married too. But it's just kind of like, well, I guess it's not easier. You gotta still kind of like put effort forward. Otherwise, you sit on the couch and play Stardew Valley for 10 hours a day. But you can also do other things too. So I
believe that's called How to Get a Divorce.
Yeah. Well,
no, it's got 2-player now. So
yeah, it does. She doesn't want to play. I offered her a controller and she said no. But like, you just gotta like try to not fall into a rut, I guess. But other than that, it's pretty easy. When she says, "What do you want for supper?" and I say, "I don't know," she's on her own. I'll figure it out later. Like, I'm not going to fight over that kind of stuff. And really, we don't fight. We're not like a fighting kind of couple. I'm not a fighting kind of person.
No, we're the same. We don't really fight over anything. Like we might get a bit aggy and make a snarky comment, and then we'll both just be like, "Well, that was dumb of us," and move on with our lives. But we don't really fight.
I think that's like the product of a divorced generation, like our parents before us, at least my parents. And I know a lot of people, like, we saw our parents fight and we're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. And so not only did we wait much longer to get married, we also don't act like that. We just don't fight. So, and I've never really fought with any of my exes before either. I mean, there was one maybe where it was a little more like, there's some trust issues going on, but never like screaming at each other. Like, I don't know how that works. And then we watched Love Island season 1, and John and Hannah were just fucking shouting at each other in these weird accents for half the season. And half the time you couldn't understand a word they were saying, but it was loud and they were angry.
And they'd been together about a week.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so we watched that and we're like, how is that a thing for people? Like, that is not okay. So, yeah, we're still married.
I can't imagine you ever being angry, Cheese.
I mean, I used to get like
the laid back guy.
I used to be way more intense and like I'd like to argue with people because I thought it was cool, and then I was just like, I'm too overweight to get angry. It'll fuck up my heart or something. So I'm just trying to like to not go there and just be calm. And I think in the last several years, I've gotten much better at that. So I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. Let's just go with it.
Yeah, I guess that comes with age, not like
definitely. Yeah, because like in high school, you're trying to be like the edgy, funny kid, and so you're like, oh well, sarcasm and being the kid that like objects to everything is what's cool. And I'm like, that's fucking dumb. I wasted so much time trying to be cool. I'm like, I'm just gonna be that nerdy kid. Like, that's fine. That's what I want to do. The artsy, creative designer kid is totally fine with me, and that's what I do for a living. So why not actually do that?
I think I came to terms with the fact that I'm like an introvert quite early on,
Yeah.
like in my teenage years, and I was just so comfortable just being like,
Same.
I'm quiet, like, because I always got like, I was always like a super shy kid growing up, and you used to hate it. I used to absolutely hate it, and it used to like eat away inside. But then I was just like, that's just me. Like, I'm just that person. Like, I'm literally just the quiet, shy type of person until I've had too many beers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like the loud, annoying guy.
Exactly the same over here.
It's interesting.
And you've experienced it.
It's interesting though, because even though we're all introverted, we're not so introverted that we never met. Like we have the side of us where it's like it takes a little bit of, at least for me, I don't want to speak for you guys, but if this is true, then I think that's maybe why we're friends, is like you can't throw out, we all have a similar sense of humor, especially me and Mike, I think, and you can't like lead with that in a lot of new friendships or like getting to know people. It takes some time to get to know them before you know what you can say and get away with. So like I think maybe that's part of why we're introverted, is because those qualities aren't so openly met compared to like if you know that like, oh, like if I went to an art school, obviously I'm going to have something in common with those kids automatically. But like I can't lead with that. If I'm there were several times where we did group projects and I would say like one-off comments about somebody else in class or something, and one kid in the group would laugh and they became my best friend. So you just got to kind of like find your people. And I think that's just, we got lucky finding other introverts that aren't so crazy introverted in the same ways, at least. But
Yeah.
I agree. No, I 100% agree with that. And but there's a couple of points I wanted to make on that. Firstly, I think that the introverted element to us, if us three didn't know each other, and we didn't go to school with each other or anything like that, we never met each other, and we just walked into a club or a pub, the likelihood is we would never speak to each other or get to know each other.
Yep.
Irrelevant of whether we heard you making the joke on the other table, the likelihood is we would just ignore each other, because that's the kind of people we are, where we're not just going to start engaging with random people in the street.
Yeah.
yes.
And that's 100% where obviously Twitch and Discord has allowed that introverted element of us being safe at home in the comfort of our home with our own comforts to be able to then
my space.
Yeah.
Safe in my space.
each other openly.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Exactly. And the other point I wanted to make off the back of the other thing you said around how we're all quite like the three of us, although we're sort of grumpy men, we're also quite chill. We're pretty laid back.
Yes.
As a group, the three of us are very laid back about pretty much everything.
As a group, everyone's pretty laid back though.
Yeah,
like
everyone.
whether it's
This is something we spoke about when when Sarah and JB came over, was the fact that the particularly like the tighter group within the Discord that are involved with Triple XP are very, very similar to each other in every capacity. Like that group is very much like very similar, and that's why we all get on so well.
Definitely.
But the point
same really dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Really dark. Let's not go into that on a podcast that's going to get broadcast to the world, shall we? There are comments that should be left to in person only. But the point I was going to make is also you said about us being like the age we're at, where we just kind of let things chill. I think also the fact that we are quite big gamers plays on that, because I know I get fucking annoyed at things. I'll just go and play a game, chill out, and then I'm done. I'm like, I just let my anger go out in like shooting some people on Splitgate or something, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm done now.
Well,
it took me about 5 minutes and I'm done.
That's a huge reason though. Like I changed what style of games I played. Like I was just getting so raged up with like stupid like Assassin's Creed or whatever it was, and like I don't play shooters anymore. Stardew Valley is my home. Like it's on my arm now. Like it's Stardew Valley is such a great game, but I love that game because it is so chill. Like I can very simply sit and play Stardew Valley on this monitor, and on this monitor I can watch a podcast while I'm doing it. So like that to me is what I want my gaming experience to be now, not like playing Elden Ring or Bloodborne and being stuck on the first fucking level for 6 hours. Like I'm never doing that again. I mean, it's one thing if you're streaming it, like I was some of those for like other people to watch, but number one, no one was watching, and number two, it was not fun. So it's just not worth it anymore. And it helps you be, I mean, if you don't surround yourself with chill things, how are you supposed to be calm? Like, that's why I have a lava lamp and a salt lamp and all this other stuff. Like, that's what I need to help me be calmed down.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I've really got into Sea of Thieves recently for that exact reason. It's so, like, when it's chill, it's super chill. And yeah, there are hectic moments, but those hectic moments don't necessarily last a long time.
Right.
So you can kind of get through them and then kind of calm down a bit, but it kind of gives you peaks where you can get a little bit excited. It's not, because that's the only thing I find is sometimes if a game is too chill, it'll put me to sleep. Because I relax so much that the amount of times I've fallen asleep playing Stardew on the Switch in bed, I get like 3 days in and then I'm asleep because the music is so chill. It is the music to go to sleep to.
Definitely.
I've been hooked on it recently, like the last 2 days, and it's been like 3 a.m. and I'm still playing it, and it's like the opposite for me. I'll get hooked on it, and
you're like, just one more day, one more day.
But it's that gameplay loop where it's like, right, I'll just end this day, and then you walk outside because it's like the door's right there.
And then your fucking crops are ready.
Yeah,
every time.
You see, like, I've got a letter. And then you read the letter and you're like, oh, just go and do that really quick. And then it's like, and all your crops are ready. And then you're like, oh, well, I just got to, like, do this.
And now you're 250 hours into the game and you're still going strong.
It's 5 a.m. and you've done another 82 days.
You haven't slept in a week.
Well, I mean, we spoke about earlier, and mention it while we're talking about it, the possibility of a triple XP Stardew farm incoming. I think that's a great idea.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
So, essentially a live episode, probably on Twitch or maybe on YouTube. I don't know.
Both.
If you want to test those waters, or
yeah, we could try both. I think I can from OBS. I think you can broadcast simultaneously from 2 multiple sources.
Yeah,
I'll just put out anybody listening who knows more than us. Let us know, because Cheese clearly thinks he knows, but might not.
Yeah, we'll
Pretty sure.
Figure out. Yeah. Must be a guidebook on it somewhere.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. We'd have to pick one of our streams though to actually like showcase. Like I guess it's me. I guess it has to be me. That was a dumb comment. Obviously it was gonna be me. But then we could just have us on the side. That'd be awesome. That'd be easy.
Yeah, I think it's not. It'd be nice to like engage with the audience a bit more as well on that.
And like, build an audience. I think it's maybe something we've never super dove into is like the building aspect. Like we put stuff out.
Yeah.
But something like that interaction would be great. Build Twitter and stuff too.
Season 3 is for our listeners, for anybody who does listen to this episode, which is probably going to be nobody, but for anybody who does,
my mom's listening. Except for
mom.
She maybe turned it off after the masturbation tears thing, but yeah,
maybe. I think now, especially now that both myself and Mike have got our weddings kind of done and dusted, and as you say, like your newest child is now kind of you're at a stage where you're a bit more under control as what's happening with that. I think this is definitely going to be a bit more of a growth year.
Lock him in a cupboard, he's fine now.
Yeah,
just he's simple.
It's just like we said last year, though. We're still figuring it out as we go, and I think we've got a better handle on it than we ever have, and maybe a little bit more time than we've had in the last year and a half, 2 years. Yeah,
I think we're all in that same boat where like we've all got our own shit to deal with, but we are all very much invested in this as a brand, and like it's just fun for us as well. Like I think I'm speaking for you all here when I'm saying this, but like it is just like this feels like our baby now, and like however long it takes, like we'll get there eventually, and develop it into something that we all in like a good place with, and get more regular with it and things like that, because we have been a bit iffy, especially me, but like you were saying, Shane, all of the sort of big events that we've had coming up are done with now, so it's literally like we could just get back into the groove now, back on the saddle.
I've always said as well, like if it could take us 1 year to find our feet, it could take us 7 years. It doesn't really matter. And I think I know that Mike, you kind of read some of our stuff, but recently Alana Pierce put something up on her Instagram, which kind of says exactly what we're talking about.
Was it a National Boob Day picture?
No,
that was hilarious.
No, somebody was basically calling her out, saying that she must have a really easy job doing podcasts and stuff, even though that's not a job. But the comment she made was, it's easier than ever to make content. Just get out there and make content. It doesn't have to be good content as long as you're making content. Because that's what she started doing 10 plus years ago, and that's where it's ended up now. It's just she just started making content. So as long as, I think the big thing we need to get out of the habit of, which we've already discussed, is our routine and being a little bit more routined with it, and not letting silly things kind of get in the way of us going, oh, we'll just cancel. We'll cancel this week.
My Stardew's been paused for an hour, so we got to wrap this up.
we just make content.
Come on.
Stardew time.
I should just be playing on this monitor, truthfully. I was so close to doing it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Have you located a My Hero cap yet, Cheese?
I haven't even remembered to look. I'm going to write it in my phone right now.
Going to write it in that list of things that you also need to do. The 1,000,001 things to watch.
My Hero Plus Ultra hat. I did get a couple new My Hero figures, though.
I was expecting you to bust it out today, Shane, to be honest.
I mean, I can go and get it. It's close. It's not next to me. It's in another room, but I also got a couple of My Hero figures. I'm also realising my light's quite... Oh, God, that's bright. There we go. That's well too bright.
You were slowly disappearing into
darkness.
The mist.
Let me just... There we go. That's a bit better. It's a little bit more light on me now. And then it was. I had no light a second ago. Oh.
I think you should stop messing with things.
You look like you're in a 90s music video. You just keep changing the light and your head's floating in this like green screen.
That's exactly what I'm in. Video games, there was something I was going to mention to you, Cheese. I started playing, obviously because it's now free, Tony Hawk.
Nice. Nice.
What I've realised is that in the 15 years since it first came out, or 20 years or whatever it was, I've now really shit at it. I probably was shit at it before, but I don't remember. I'm now very shit at it.
Do you want? Can I? So now that have you played it at all, Mike?
Obviously, I played 5 minutes of it.
So
obviously,
the amount I played was I beat both. So Tony Hawk 1 and 2, I 100%ed with every single character and got all of their stat points in every level 3 times.
Wow.
Just to put in perspective of how shit I am, just in line with that comment, I can't even unlock the 3rd area on Tony Hawk 1 at the moment because I can't get enough of the park points in the first 2 areas.
I can beat the whole lot. I can beat both games 100% in like an hour and a half.
I can't even get the highest score I've got so far is 20,000, which is pathetic.
Maybe we do that for a live episode. Just
that'd be fun.
Cheese play. Watch Cheese play Tony Hawk. Watching me good at games for a change. That'd be great.
I could actually walk you through that by memory, probably.
Like one of those like bobsleigh teams when they're like memorizing the course and shit.
I'm not, to be honest, I'm surprised.
Level 3's the mall, right?
He doesn't know. He's not got there yet.
Or is it? It's the mall or Minneapolis downtown.
Oh no, actually, tell a lie. I have just unlocked level 3, so I haven't unlocked level 4 yet. I've just done the mall.
3's the mall. 4's downtown, I think.
Oh yeah, I haven't got that yet.
That's a hard one. That's one of the hardest challenges in the entire game.
Brilliant. Because I found the school quite hard.
The school is maybe my favorite level of any of them.
Yeah, I really hate the first level. I hate the warehouse. It's just so boring. There's nothing in there.
Shit level.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's a classic level, and we all know it.
It's only classic because you have to go over the half pipe to get the secret tape above that half pipe when you first come down that roll, and otherwise it's not a great level. But that part is great.
It was the school that was classic because I said to Lauren, "Oh, do you remember this game?" She went, "Oh, I only really played the demo," and it was the school that was on the demo. Yeah, so a lot of people remember the school because that was the one that was on the demo that you could play, and that was all she remembered. But I'm surprised that we don't have, those TikTok videos where it's like somebody on a game pulling off like something incredible, like pulling off Cheese pulling off like a 200,000 super stunt on Tony Hawk, while it's like a clip of
200,000. That's it.
I don't know what scores are. I can't get past 20,000. Cheese. I don't know how high it goes.
I would say like 5 million.
There's a trophy for getting 10 million in one combo or something like that.
I think I've got it.
A score of like 10 million.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's unlikely going to happen.
It's not that difficult.
I see that happening though. Do you know what I mean though? Those TikTok videos, someone pulling off a 10,000 trick and over the top there's just a clip of the podcast. I'm surprised Cheese hasn't already created them. I feel like that's what he does in his spare time.
I have so much free time, it's ridiculous. But Stardew Valley is my second full-time job, so no. I have a farm to upkeep.
It makes me laugh, the polar opposites of you two with your free time. Mike, who has absolutely zero free time because he's got more kids than he can count, to you, who has more free time than you can physically put a physical number on.
I got different priorities, man.
I've got an idea. Mike, ship some of your kids over to Cheese.
I will return to sender.
Do not want.
Unless your kids love Stardew, I'm out.
Yeah, the one or two will play.
I mean, I don't want kids. I don't want your kids anyway, but...
Willow, she's my favourite one because she cheers every time I catch a fish when I'm playing Stardew.
That's awesome. And you should be like, do you want to hold it? And then have her hold the controller like this. Oh shit.
Bless of them. What else has happened then? What else has gone on in the time that we've been away? Anything interesting?
I've just got back from a camping trip.
Yeah, saw that picture of you in a tent.
Yeah, that was a... I like camping. Do any of you guys go camping at all?
I hate camping.
Used to.
Hate it.
I love it, you know. I love it.
I like
used to like it.
It's like... It's just like... I don't know. It's just like... It's just a good excuse to get away from technology. And I know, like, I took my Switch there and we played, like, games, like just away from, like, the internet and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I didn't look at my phone once, other than maybe check the weather.
Play chess.
It's nice to, like... I didn't even play chess. No, I finished all my games, so I didn't accept anymore until... until I got back. And I've still not, like... accepted Brian's 2 requests to play.
I didn't either, to be fair. I had my honeymoon last week. We went to the south west of England, and I made sure all my chess games were done the day we left, and I haven't accepted a single chess game since, because I was like, I'm away, I don't want to be thinking about chess while I'm on holiday. I'm just going to leave it and have a break from it.
How does it?
But yeah, no, I drove my life for a little bit.
I know.
Yeah,
I bought a chess set sitting in my car still. I haven't even opened it yet. I was like, surely I could set up a chessboard on my desk and learn how to play against myself and get better, but I would still always lose. So there's no real point. There's no boost. Well. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a point where Ellie was like, "You are talking about chess non-stop. Like, this needs
Lauren was exactly the same. She was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't care about chess. Stop bringing it up. And I'm like, but chess is life.
Beck said the same thing. We were at a wedding and I walked out. It was like a wedding reception. It was outside. And I walked away and found this quiet area, and I was sitting and playing chess on my phone, and Becca came back over and she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just playing chess." She goes, "With what?" I'm like, "On my phone." And she's like, "Oh, why?" I'm like, "Because chess is awesome."
Because that's it now. It's just life's about chess and nothing else.
Stardew.
Yeah. So that was a nice little boost to the Discord, because the Discord had gone not quiet and stale, but I think we all wanted something to rally around, and we found chess.com and
which is so insane. That just furthers how similar we all are. It's like, oh, something new, it's free, we'll do it. Okay, let's try it. Because otherwise you're the guy that's missing out, and it's like, shit, could have been me.
Yeah.
And I've won a total of 3 chess games, I think, one being against Shane, and I hope you hate that.
Is that the one I let you in by giving you all those coins?
No, the second time I beat you, that was legitimate. Okay, so I have 2 wins total that they were legit. I beat Ryan once.
I don't mind you beating me. I'm not sour for anyone beating me. I get excited when I beat Red. That's when I get excited.
Red's like a newest addition to our Discord, and
I won't even play him.
kind of chess master. He's an absolute chess wizard.
Same with Retro, though. Retro just shows up with the most random things. That one time in Discord, he's like, oh, yeah, we were talking about Cobra Kai. He goes, oh, yeah, time to bust out the black belt. I'm like, of course you'd be a black belt. He goes, not. He's like, no, not really. But, of course, he was some, like, middle school grand champion or something in chess. Fucking nerd. He's not listening, so it's fine. We can throw him under the bus.
Retro.
Yeah, fuck.
And
you. I'm going to send him this clip.
Skills.
Yeah, being so smart. He's an accountant. Of course he's an accountant.
And again, I put out to our potential listeners or Cheese's mum, if you want to play chess against us, let us know your chess.com usernames and we'll add you and play chess against you.
If my mom starts playing you guys in chess and or she beats Red, I don't even know.
That's a challenge right there. You're challenging your mum to beat your friends at chess.
She doesn't even know how to play chess.
Neither do you. And you've won some.
I beat you.
Exactly my point. I think most of us didn't know how to play chess 2 weeks ago.
I knew how. I just had zero strategy.
And Hayes recently brought in the GeoGuessr game. Have you guys tried that yet?
No.
I've played GeoGuessr with Hayes before, yeah. It is fun.
It is a lot of fun. It'd be good to get a really good party together for that. Like, especially if we do like a pre-planned one.
We should
got everyone in.
We should do some sort of like triple XP game night with our wives.
I mean, I'd be game. I think Lauren would say, "Go fuck yourself." It's like, no. Her view is that she thinks you're all lovely, but you're my kind of people, not her kind of people.
Yeah, but at least my wife would probably say the same thing.
Probably.
Well, then you can pick a triple XP friend.
Okay.
Okay.
The thing is, my wife, she's not a gamer. She doesn't really care for gaming. Like, she used to play when she was younger, and she'll play the odd game of Tekken, but that's about it.
I mean, we can play Mario Kart. I don't care what we play. I'm not thinking we should play something. We're not playing. We could do a chess tournament. That'd be fun.
we could. But yeah, she's not really much of a gamer, and even like the concept of the fact that we've all met online and we're all like super close friends that talk pretty much every day, she still finds a little bit weird.
But she's met them now, right?
There's so many people that I speak to. Like, I work with a lot of elderly people and older people in my job, and I'm like, I met these friends online. I'm going to see them and stuff like that. And they're like, what? It's just so confused by the concept of like, but you've never met them and you're going to meet them now.
And it's funny because it's not like we're sending each other money. Like, I don't know why people think it's like such a big deal. Like, we're not like supporting each other financially or anything. Like,
yeah, we're not a group of Nigerian princes.
Exactly. Like, we're not con artists. We just like met each other online, and I mean, honestly,
the world for weddings.
I 1000% never expected to like stick in that group. Like, Lunchbox, my friend, was in it at the time, and so I had joined, and then kind of started to get to know Jedi and Mike, and I guess really those were the first two. And then
I think
it just
Ellie kind of like was like, this guy's fun, we should check him out. And then that kind of brought me in because Ellie was watching you play.
One of the funniest things I've ever done to this day, though, was when Ellie came to my island on Animal Crossing, or I was on hers or something, and I don't remember what happened, but I like ended up taking all the clothes off my Animal Crossing character, and it was super funny. And then I sent her those jeans and said something like, it was so funny. I have the clip saved somewhere, but I don't know. I just didn't expect to end up like in the friend group. Everybody was British.
I think like the main thing is like the sense of humor's lined up.
Yeah.
And then, like, once you have that, like, it's just that's it. That's friendship done, isn't it?
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've said this before. I very much credit Hazy for my involvement in this group, because again, like you, Cheese, it was a random. She started chatting to me on a stream once, and then 2 weeks later, or a week later, we were playing Rainbow Six while drunk, and she introduced me to Mike, and that was literally it. From there on, it was pretty much spoke consistently.
That was huge too. I think I played Overwatch and Gang Beasts with you guys a couple of times, like when COVID started, and so then I honestly just wanted to like have people to talk with and be friends with, and then I tried to participate in everything I could, every game night, anytime you guys were just chatting, and like I tried to get in there and talk, and here we are 2.5 years later.
Gosh, look at us go.
Yeah, but I will say though, for anybody that is listening, it has, and I think this is more necessarily that Mike will understand my comment on this, and I don't, because I don't know necessarily your full streaming career, Discord career, Cheese, but it's not all been plain sailing. Like, we've met a lot of not necessarily unpleasant people, but people that haven't fit us.
Yeah, they just don't
people
line
that
up, and it's
either they caused trouble or they knew that they didn't fit in, and not in like
didn't fit in with them.
Right, not in like a we're the cool club. It's just like we're a specific group of people, and not everybody's gonna mesh with us. Like, you can't be friends with you're not gonna be friends with every stranger you meet. Basically, I mean, it takes a couple of. I mean, we've all, I think, brought at least one or two people that are like your real life friends and that are now in this group. And that's just, we've kind of formed like these little super clusters of like, oh, well, I know Mike and I like Mike, and he and Ellie are probably somewhat similar. So I got along with Ellie and Hazy, and like, it's same with you and Aiden and Max and like all those, like it's just the same thing.
So two comments to make on this. Firstly, on the note of like your friends that you bring into it, when Mike first came down, he stayed at mine, and Lauren, the day after he left, said, "Oh, Mike isn't how I imagined him," because she'd never seen him on camera or anything. She'd never spoken to him. She was just like, "Oh, she wasn't how I imagined him."
Podcast?
No, she wouldn't even think about it. And I said, "What do you think? What did you expect then?" She was like, "Well, I expect him to be a bit more like you, like nerdy and weedy." She was like, "He's so much like Max." And I think that says a lot, in that my oldest, closest friend, Max, and Mike is very similar to him. He's like a northern version of him.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I'm so drawn to him.
But then I'm kind of like the American version of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
But it's weird how well me and Max got on those couple of weekends where you came down to mine, and I came up to your wedding and stuff. And like, me and Max just like, there was one point where we were just sat giggling in the corner, and then we'd like look at, we'd say, make another comment, and then we'd like giggling away again. We were like, Ellie was like, "You two are like two naughty school kids in the corner." Yeah,
she said that to me a few times.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, again, it's just the same sense of humor. We just get each other, so it's.
But the other point I was going to make, and that's and Cheese, honestly, if you was involved in or saw the first kind of group, like close-knit group that me and Mike were involved in, that was about 8 or 9 of us, I think your mind would be blown by how this kind of combobulated that group was, by how like disjointed.
Oh, I think
strange corner of the internet, wasn't it?
I think I've heard plenty of stories. I mean, I'm glad I wasn't there for part of that. Glad I wasn't there for part of that, just because, I mean, I have no trouble, like I am pretty calm, but also I'm not going to let people be shitty to each other, and like, I don't have a great filter if I start to get going. It's just, I'm glad I stayed out of it. I mean, it was before my time, but like, I just can't do it.
It was, and this is my point to anybody who's listening who's quite new to Discord or anything like that, or new to streaming. It takes time. Like, it's taken us 4 years to get to this point where I think we're now this year at a point where we're all really super comfortable with where Discord is, with where we are, with where like our group is, and that's taken a good few years to get there.
Yeah.
And it's not something that happens overnight by any means. It does take time.
It's taken a lot of effort to get into a place where we're all like comfortable with each other, and we know that there's not going to be any like drama and stuff now, and it's taken a long time to kind of like sift through all that and filter out those people. I don't mean like filter them out as in like get rid of the shit people and like, but it is in a way like, because there's just people that just haven't matched up with us and they're doing fine elsewhere in like other groups and things like that. And
I think I think what you're trying to say, and a better way of putting it is, the lesson that I think we've learned is just chill a little bit, because we tried to force a lot of things in the early days. We tried to force groups together. We tried to force extra hands in, and actually just, you know, going with the flow, being a little bit more hands off and letting people come and go as they please helps build a group of people that want to be there, as opposed to trying to force people's hands, which is kind of, we went a bit too hard, too quick in the early days.
Yeah.
And now we're a bit more chill about everything.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Well, and just more like, time has passed. I mean, like, people have stuck around or they haven't. And then also, like, if you're like, oh, we're doing a movie night tonight in Discord, or a movie night next week, and you knew about, like, and you make an effort, like, that's a big thing. But now it's enough of, like, a pre-established group. Like, we have the groundwork. So now if we added 50 people, it would still always be like the original group, and that's who I see like, oh, we should do like a vacation somewhere in a couple of years, or like, that's the kind of people that will probably stay like our friend group forever, and then people will come and go from that. But like, our group is, I don't see it changing at all.
No. There was a conversation that I had when I went up for Mike's wedding with Sarah, and this is a prime example of this, because Sarah can be very sort of comes and goes in the Discord, because she's very busy with her work.
Yeah,
her and JB are very busy with the bits they got going on in their life, so she tries to get involved when she can, but we know that she can sometimes go 2 or 3 weeks where we might not hear from her at all, because she is super busy, and that's cool, like, that's life, we get it. But when she came over, me and her were chatting, and honestly, like, it was like sitting with my sister from another country. Like, it was, we just got on like that. Like, it was so weird. Like, everything, our friendship just clicked instantly without it ever feeling weird or awkward. And it's the same with JB, but me and Sarah's like align very well.
I'd say it's because you and Sarah are very like similar in terms of how like organized you are and like
very practical.
Yeah,
exactly.
Very similar people. I think that's why I get on with you both as well really well.
Because you're not organized and you need somebody to organize you.
Well, you're both just like organized, but like no you're organized but no bullshit. Like, it's like, if you have an issue with something, you both say it clearly, and that makes it way easier too, instead of it being like hidden behind some slighted comment or something. Like, you guys are just both bold and will say whatever you are thinking, and that's great.
I've learned
that's what we need.
No, I've learned, because you're not the first person in the last 2 weeks to say this. Because I always knew that I was a little bit upfront, but I never realised, I didn't think I was as upfront as I clearly came across. But my best men in my wedding day speech said the exact same thing. They're like, he will just tell you straight how it is. And I always, like I say, I always knew I was a little bit upfront, but I didn't think I was just that much to the point. But clearly I am. Clearly I'm more to the point than I think I am.
So let's go back. Can I go back a little bit?
We can go back with however much you want.
I want to know more about like when you guys, like, when Mike showed up at your house for the first time, or like when you guys picked up Sarah and JB from the airport. Like, how did those like emotions go? Because the girl I dated before Becca was from the other side of the country, the United States. So I had done something like an online relationship, FaceTime, whatever, and then met her in person at an airport. So like, I kind of know how that goes. So I'm just curious to know, obviously it wasn't like a relationship, but people that spent a lot of time to...
Me and JB had sex in the toilets. What are you talking about?
So if I can just go with when I went down to see Shane the first time, Max picked me up at the train station, and
And it was a surprise, right?
yeah. So
For Shane, it was a surprise.
Yeah, for Shane, it was a surprise, and I was staying at Ryan's. There was a little like get together there before the stag do, and it was weird. I was there, and he arrived and stuff, but there was no this like awkward silences. It just felt really like natural and just like we'd been friends for years, which we had.
Yeah,
it was no different in person at all.
I think the first line, the first thing I said to you is I just walked up and went, I fucking knew you were coming. Because he'd given himself away on the Discord earlier that day, and my brain was going, he's being really active, is he travelling? I bet he's on a train, isn't he? Why is he being so weird right now? And he was making comments on the Discord that he doesn't normally make, and I was like, he's being really fucking sus.
Did you? So were you hoping he was coming before you found out he was?
I hadn't even thought about it to that day. I hadn't even considered it because I thought, you know what, it's too far for him to travel. It's a long way. Hadn't even considered it.
It's not that
And then
far.
he was being sus that day, and I thought, and I just kept going in my head, he's being really fucking sus, and I don't understand why. And I thought, well, maybe he's coming down. And then I kind of just, because I was working that day, I just kind of forgot about it, went about my day, and then obviously when I got there, he was standing there, beer in hand, waiting for food. Which is how I think he spends most of his life. So
That's awesome.
But yeah, I was just stood in the garden, and like he arrived, and he was like, "Is that Mike?"
You should have been like, "Who's Mike?"
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think there was any. It wasn't like, you know, you see these people online who have met for the first time, and it's like screaming and hugging, and it was literally I just walked up to him, we had a chat, and we went about our day. Like it wasn't.
Well, and it's 2022. We do this all the time. We talk in Discord all the time. It's not like you're writing letters to each other from afar, and I've never seen a photo of each other. Like it's not that complicated.
It's not long lost families, is
right?
it?
Exactly.
No.
That's a huge part of like online friendships, and when people date online, like. It's just like you're just not taking up space with them in the room next to you, but everything else is digital now. It's fine. You can get to know somebody fully.
Yeah.
Exactly, and there's a lot of things that me and Mike have spoken about personally as well, and that I've helped him with, and we've discussed. And it like Mike said, it didn't feel like it was like some sort of amazing cute super meeting. It just felt like two old friends that were catching up for the weekend because they hadn't seen each other in a couple of months.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's all it felt like.
Nail on the head with that. Yeah, exactly.
With the Sarah and JB one, that was slightly different in that I was extremely sleep deprived, but no, we were at the airport. It was me and Liam at the airport, and I mean, we were sitting outside waiting for them. When they arrived, they came over. We didn't actually see them at first. Well, I didn't. Liam spotted them coming towards us, and they were like, "Hi guys," in their like big over the top way. And yeah, it was literally.
You didn't have a sign made for him or anything?
No, we were just sitting there having a coffee.
You
I
dick.
Home Alone. Fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you've ever been. You've never been to an English airport, have you? You can't even wait in the bit where they come out. Like you have to just sit on some chairs outside. It's not the same in America, mate. Yeah, there was, and especially the airport they landed in is a fucking shithole. There's literally nowhere to go.
Take it up with your prime minister.
We went in airport alone.
Yeah, mate, it's an awful airport. No, we went and bought them coffees, and we were sitting there with coffees waiting, so they had a coffee as soon as they landed. And it was a quick hug, mainly because all of us fucking stank. Like, obviously, we'd been in a car for 5 hours. They'd been on traveling for like 18 hours or something stupid. No one wanted to touch each other really because we were all like, we all smell. But yeah, we just had a quick hug, and then we loaded everything up in the car. The car was so packed up, like you could barely move. Just slapped it straight to Blackpool, and then we kind of had a bit more of a chill talk when we got there. But the most it was just, let's get in the car and let's get moving because we all smell, we all want to sit down, and we all need a nap.
Yeah.
But again, it exactly the same as Mike. It didn't feel like seeing some sort of like long lost person I've never seen before. It again felt exactly the same. It felt like meeting, like catching up with an old friend that I saw a couple of months ago and I haven't had a chance to see in a while. That's all it felt like.
Nice.
It was no different.
Yeah. The only person that took me by surprise was Aiden.
Aiden takes you by surprise even when you live down the road from him, mate.
Yeah. But No, I absolutely love Aiden. He's a personal hero of mine for his dance moves alone.
And he did live stream your ceremony, so Jedi and I were able to watch that, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that really meant a lot to me as well. Like just the fact that you two were there, because you were the only two people that were missing, really.
Yeah,
and the fact that Aiden just took it upon himself to be like, "Can I stream it?" He came up and asked me while I was stood at the front of the altar, sort of thing.
Perfect time to ask you a question, right?
I was like, yeah, go ahead, Aiden.
Like, Aiden, sit down. Go sit down.
Ellie's coming right now.
No, Aiden, no.
In fairness to him, though, he was like super discreet about it as well. Like he did it really well because I was sitting behind him.
Yeah.
And he did it really well. He was going to do the same for mine, but unfortunately, mine's in the middle of fucking nowhere, so there was no signal.
Yeah.
I mean, yours is in the middle of nowhere, but it had good internet.
It wasn't great internet. We were like, I think that's Mike. There's somebody wearing white. That's probably Ellie. Yeah, that's got to be Ellie.
I do have a recording of it though, so
nice.
I'll send it over at some point so you guys can all see. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I live 10-minute walk from Aiden, and he surprises me every time I see him. Every time. He's not a bad surprise. It's always like when you're a kid and you get a Happy Meal, you know that there's only 5 toys you can get, and you know like what those toys are, but yet you're still surprised and happy to see that toy when you open it. That's like seeing Aiden.
Aiden's the toy that you have like 4 of at home, and you open that Happy Meal and there's another one. Yeah. And you're like, shit.
But you're still happy and excited about it. Like, I know exactly what he's going to do. I know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm still happy and excited to see him.
Good old Aiden. It was his birthday the other day. Happy belated birthday, even though he doesn't listen to this.
Yeah. No.
We should tell him.
We got to get him on here sometime.
Why does he refuse? Did he say?
We're not high culture. I don't know.
Just doesn't
I'm gonna badger him.
Do it.
I'm gonna demand. I'm gonna tell him that we spoke about him and tell him he's gonna have to know.
Yeah.
But it's at the very end, and he won't know it until he listens to it. And we're like, got him.
You do that thing where they do on like all podcasts where they like talk about something, and then they put that right at the start, and then they like go into like the normal podcast, and it's right at the end.
Yeah, I'll use that as the bite. Yeah, I'll use that as one of our sound bites, and he
gotcha, sucker.
He's hooked.
Another listener in the bag.
An hour later.
I was thinking maybe we need to start naming the episodes like those horrendous hook lines that you see on YouTube videos where it's like, I was punched by an elderly lady, and then actually that's not what happened in the slightest.
We'll start using we can start using DALL-E to do AI illustrated thumbnails.
Let's do it.
You're the tech man. We'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, why? I don't know why I discuss these things with you. You guys can't stop me.
We literally can't. I mean, you came up with a new opening and it worked wonders, and you pretty much just did that anyway, irrelevant of what we were going to say. So
it's true. That's true.
You might as well just go for it.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
I'm going to change the title of the podcast. You won't even know for like a month.
Hey, I check it every time it launches. I try to listen every time we get an episode out.
Nice.
I don't listen to this shit. Are you kidding me?
I had to listen to it one time by being part of it. I don't want to listen to it again.
Yeah, exactly. I was there for it.
And I'm the one that edits.
I often listen to it when I walk the dog because I find it good to kind of look back on things we discuss and also to see if there's any points that really didn't work. Just for personal, I'm all about growth.
And it sounds pretty good and looks pretty good. I mean, as a whole, we have a pretty legitimate podcast. We really do. Yeah. We could do more. We can always do more. Yeah, maybe. And we could always do less. This is the last episode of Triple XP.
That we could always do less. And I will be getting some upgrades this year. Firstly,
you mean like a background?
Well, no, a couple of things. One, a laptop, so that I can actually assist you more.
Oh, that's great. Do you know how to edit?
Effectively. I can learn.
Oh.
I'm a quick learner. Because at the moment, the computer I've got is about 20 years old and it can barely run Stardew.
Nice.
I'm also... The room behind me, the reason it's blurred is because it's a fucking shithole at the moment, but I'm going to be redecorating this room and putting on display a big old Darth Maul lightsaber up along this back wall, which I'll turn on.
That turtle tank's dirty as fuck, isn't it?
And that turtle tank needs cleaning out, yeah. That does need cleaning out. And as Micah said to me, this is the room he stays in when he comes down. So he told me I have to sort it out. So I've got to sort it out.
That's my room. Sort my bedroom out, mate.
Yeah. So
I'm coming up in September.
Skyrim posters everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm aiming to have it done by September.
Nice.
To be fair.
So our next episode, perfect.
Yeah.
Not that soon.
Should we talk about EGX a little bit before we wrap up?
Yeah, can do. Do you know much about EGX Cheese? Have you heard about EGX?
You guys talked about it a little bit. Is it like a Comic-Con, Game Con of sorts?
Yeah, I don't know. You probably have something similar in America or in your maybe in your state or at least in another state, but I don't know what would be the equivalent. But yeah, it's essentially that. It's a gaming convention. It's Eurogamer. I don't know what the X is. That just convention? I don't know what it stands for.
Extreme, X-ray, xylophone, something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. It's Eurogamer Xylophone, and
it's a cool name.
It's so the last time I went a couple of years back.
That should be the
Eurogamer Xylophone. That's the one. So I went a couple of years ago, and it's fantastic. It's essentially exactly what you expect. You get to play loads of new games. I went 4 years ago. It was the year that Avengers was coming out, and I got to play Avengers before it came out.
This is like a showcase of studios. Like studios are there showing games.
Some of the UK studios. You don't get a lot of the big American studios, but the games will be over there, so they'll have small booths set up.
So this is like this is a big one.
It's the biggest UK one.
Oh,
so think
sweet. Okay, that'd be like San Diego Comic-Con or something for us, but that's games.
Substantially smaller than San Diego. Yeah. You know, like Gamescom in Germany.
No, I'll take your word for it.
The Jeff Keighley one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the big Gamescom in Germany, it's basically that but smaller. Or what's E3? E3 but smaller. A smaller UK version of E3. That's essentially what it is.
Nice.
So you just get to see loads of games, play loads of games, learn about games. There's like developers there that will talk to you about how to get into the industry, all that sort of stuff. That's happening in September. Mike's coming down for it, so we're going to be going up there. We've already got our tickets. So hopefully, off the back of that, it's in London, yeah. Off the back of that, we'll be able to have some really interesting things to talk about, and we might even be able to do some like pre-reviews on games coming out.
You guys could always record something like on an iPhone while you guys are there and send it to me, and I could always chop it into a video or something too.
Sure.
Yeah, we definitely might record some bits while we're there and add some, even if we just record some little skits and stuff.
Yeah.
I got something content-wise.
Yeah, definitely.
We probably won't. We definitely won't.
No.
We'll probably forget.
Yeah, you'll forget. You'll be like, what? Podcast? What? No,
Let's cancel.
And this is going to sound ridiculous, but one of the most interesting things that happened the last time I was there, as I say, this was a few years ago, is, Tetris Royale, the Tetris 99. Yeah. It wasn't long after that came out, and they were holding a massive Tetris tournament in the middle of the building, and it was like winner stays on. And I was watching it for about 40 minutes, just watching people play Tetris, and I was absolutely. I was in the queue for Avengers. To be fair, I wasn't just sitting there; I was queuing up for ages. And yeah, I just watched Tetris for ages, and I was in love with it. I was obsessed.
Sounds good.
Tetris is awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I think it'd be good.
It should be good, and then
as long as there's beer there, I'll be fine.
There'll be beer there, and obviously there'll be beer the night before, and the night of which we get home. So there'll be beer, and I think Lauren's working, so we can beer more easily,
more loudly.
More loudly. That's
more open, more freely.
We can whisper beer.
Whisper beer that's a whisper life. Whisper life. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much been our life for the last 8 weeks, and some of the bits we've got coming forward. Yeah, I mean, welcome back, everyone. Yeah, it's good to be back.
It does feel good to be back.
It's good to be back.
I feel like this episode's gone on a bit longer than usual.
It's actually
tiny bit, but
it's actually only an hour and 4 minutes.
Oh. Yeah, it's only a couple of minutes longer, but
not bad.
It feels longer. It's really dragged.
We've talked about nothing.
We have literally talked about nothing, but also everything.
Looking forward to we'll start getting a bit more content in, more guests as well. I think we've had a few guests lined up for a long time now that I've organised, and then it's just fallen apart or whatever for whatever reason. But
I've got a couple. Yeah, a couple of in the pipeline.
And Zero and Paul Foxhound, they're two streamer friends of ours that I think we've all known for quite a while now, and they've been wanting to get on, so we'll get them on at some point.
I think it'd be fun to get.
In the future.
I think it'd be fun to get my wife on, because she's got some sort of gaming-ish background, at least like a creative mind, whatever.
I don't want to know about gaming. I'm going to ask her loads of deep questions about you.
Oh God, I think my twin would be a good guest, and Retro I think would be a great guest.
Yeah, that's good, man.
I'm in for all of those. We'll have team chat. Will be on at some point. Mike Seagulls clearly in the background there.
I was like, what the hell?
There's just some seagulls there.
I'm just so used to it now. They're just background noise for me.
And we'll definitely be reaching out to some other people to try and get some other guests about as well. And yeah, there'll be lots more stuff coming. New games, new films to talk about.
Some live
new
stuff.
My Hero in October to talk about. Some live stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe that charity event that we've been talking about for like 2 years that might actually come to fruition at some point in the future.
Nah.
Who knows?
Meh.
There's plenty more stuff to talk about.
What about if it's 24 hours of Stardew?
I'm in. Only 24?
Only?
We could do it for a week if we had to. We could just take turns.
Just a short sitting.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll let one of you wrap it up then.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.
You blurred out as that.
Yeah, he did. That was awesome.
I'm already on Stardew.
He's fading into the static. Yeah, I'm already on Stardew. It's loaded up on this monitor, just so you know.
He's right here.
Now I'm going to have to play it. I'm going to have to go log into Stardew and I get in bed in a minute on the Switch.
It's the best Switch game ever made, I think. It's like the perfect 4 Switch game. It's
really
amazing.
There's 2 Switch games in my opinion. Oh, have you stopped recording now?
No. Do you want me to?
Oh. I mean, you probably should wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, it finishes now. Bye.
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 Triple XP. Triple XP.